afternoon. I warmly welcome you to the third and final English debate of the year in the intermediate division. The topic for today is one that all of you can relate to. Teenagers should give more importance to friends than to family. Our judges for today are Mrs. Pundi, Mr. Kailash Singh, Ms. Banerjee, and Mrs. DeCosta. The order in which the four houses will be speaking today is Allen, Condon, Foy, and Pal. May I remind the speaker that they shall be given 4 minutes to express their views. After 3 minutes, a bell shall be rung, and after the 4th minute, the second bell shall be rung. After a speaker has concluded his or her debate, members of the opposing teams are permitted to ask 2 questions. If they do not do so within 30 seconds, the speaker will be awarded full marks for rebuttal. So I do urge you to ask questions. Therefore, without further ado, I now invite R.F. Johnston of Allen House to present his views in favor of the motion.
With the permission of the chair, I would like to begin my debate. A helpless little boy or girl who needs protection and shielding from every storm. That is our family. Particularly parents and older siblings view teenagers. Good afternoon, Sir Chairperson and the House at large. To prepare for this debate, I first asked myself, what exactly are the strengths and skills which I as a teenager need to survive in this ruthless, highly competitive and impersonal world I must step into the moment I pass out of school. In my opinion, I must be independent, be able of thinking for myself, of fending for myself, of being able to make my decisions and to bear the consequences, be they good or bad, and most importantly, to grow in the process. Through a series of 3 constructive arguments, I shall explain why friends and not family are more important in learning these essential life skills and thus should be paid more attention to. Firstly, love. Every child needs love, more so in the teenage years. However, it must be of the right kind and to the right degree. Parents tend to smother their children with too much unconditional love. They unknowingly teach their children to take the love and support of others for granted. This in turn adversely affects the relationships with people like neighbors, co-workers, bosses and spouses. However, that is not how the world works. One must learn to work towards any relationship to make it work. One must give respect to get respect. It is in the company of friends that we learn this. Because to hold on to friends that count, we learn to forgive, to listen, to be patient and to compromise. We seldom display such behavior in front of parents since we know that they'll accept us no matter what we do. The real world, however, will not be so accepting. This is where friends come in. Friends don't spoon feed us, they give us a reality check when we don't work towards a relationship and make it mutually fulfilling. This goes a long way in helping us establish relationships or in a professional level. My second constructive argument revolves around the concept of utility. Now, I am well aware that using such a term to describe relationships may offend some people. However, I simply couldn't find a better word. I urge my intelligent audience to ask themselves that don't they value the aspect of usefulness, benefit and utility found in friendship? Friends tend to be the same age as us. Thus, they face the same setbacks and challenges. Therefore, the emotional support provided by them is more meaningful than that of family. The pressures faced by teenagers may be something which older family members cannot relate to. Friends, on the other hand, help us view the problem with the right perspective. For my final constructive argument, I would like to mention that the obstacles faced by teenagers on their path are essential for growing mentally and socially. Overprotective parents tend to rush to the aid of a child, preventing them from facing the challenge head on and solving the problem on their own. Friends, on the other hand, stand at the edge of the pond and force you to swim through. When the going gets tough, friends who are not swayed by the overprotective instincts of family force you to pull through. They will help you if you need them. However, they'll only help you as much as you need to be helped. They won't bear the burden for you, solving your problem and making you weak and helpless. In conclusion, I would like to end with one last assertion. When you fall down, your parents pick you up and help you get back up. However, your friends on the other hand poke you, prod you and force you to get back up yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't judge me harshly if I choose to spend more time with friends than family. I just simply need my friends more. Thank you.
Questions? May I remind the participants that if they do not ask a question in the next 15 seconds, the speaker will be awarded full marks for the body. Condon House.
Mr. Speaker, you talked about the perspective of friends. But don't you think the perspective of family is way better and safer for us?
Thank you for the question, with the permission of the chair. No, I don't think that the perspective of family is better because, you see, sure they have lived through the phase which we are going on, but the world is changing, more so nowadays. So the problems which we face may seem alien to older family members, which is why I prefer the view of friends. Sure, friends may not be more experienced, however, they are passing through a same phase and may or may not have more knowledge on the challenges and setbacks which we face. Thank you.
House.
Familial relations do not fall apart because of long distances, whereas in most cases friendships do fall apart. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think that friendships fall apart over long distance. Sure, there are some cases over, problems of staying friends with someone over a long distance. However, I don't think that true friendship, and if you choose to make good friends, it'll fall apart over something as trivial as long distance. Thank you.
Thank you, Arav. I now invite Nitya Agarwal of Allen House to speak against the motion.
With the permission of the chairperson, I'd like to begin my debate. The Burmese believe that in times of test, one's family is the best. I couldn't agree with them more. Good afternoon to the chairperson and the house at large. In order to convince you of the need of teenagers to prioritize their family over friends, I would like to draw your attention to the keywords of today's topic, that are friends and family. What is the difference between friends and family? While friends and family both are important, family holds a far deeper significance. While friendships are based on shared experiences, family provides unconditional love and support that shapes who we are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you a question. Would you prefer to prioritize someone who has known you for a shorter period, as opposed to someone like a parent who has formed a tie of love with you right from the moment you were born? I think I would prioritize my family before my friends, since it is they who have brought me up, stood by my side through thick and thin, and have instilled in me the faith and confidence that comes from knowing that no matter what life throws my way, I always have certain unwavering pillars of support. My family. I am not saying that friends shouldn't be given any importance at all. But when it comes to giving more importance, we should definitely give it to our family, because whether we admit it or not, the fact is that blood is always thicker than water. Now, I would like to stress upon the temporary nature of friendships. Teenage is a phase where you lose friends and make new ones. There could be various reasons for losing a friend. Competition, rivalry, jealousy is a major cause. It is in the nature of humans to view one another as competition and therefore as a threat to one's well-being and progress. While friends do want you to grow and achieve success, but not more than them, whereas your family members would always want you to achieve greater heights without any limits because they genuinely rejoice in our triumphs. Many of us in the proposition and opposition are friends with each other. While we do our friends to do well in the debate, secretly each of us wants to win ourselves. When it comes to friendship, when it comes to competition, friendship is pushed to the back seat. Teenage is a phase in which you experience adolescence and many hormonal changes take place within your body. This urge to become cool might land us in the wrong company. In extreme cases, these friends might challenge us to try alcohol, to smoke, or maybe try other intoxicants in order to appear cool. But none of the members of our family would ever tell us to make such lamentable and dangerous choices. Now, if you give more importance to your family's advice, you will not suffer. But if you give more importance to your friends' opinions, it could eventually lead towards your doom. In conclusion, I would like to state that while friendships are important during teenage years, family plays a crucial role in providing stability, guidance, and unconditional support that should never be overlooked. With this thought, I rest my case. Thank you.
Farhouse.
Madam Speaker, you mentioned that family members are pillars of unwavering support. But I think that friends are better pillars of support because they actually understand our problems which we are not able to talk about with our family members. So what are your thoughts on this?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Interjector. With the permission of the chairperson, I'd like to answer. As I have mentioned, they are pillars of unwavering support. They will never ever leave your side no matter what. But maybe friends, when they stop benefiting from you, they will eventually leave your side. And with this, I think I've answered your question.
Farhouse.
Teenagers face issues with their parents regarding their ability to understand each other. What do you have to say about this?
Please, could you repeat your question?
Teenagers face issues with their parents regarding their ability to understand each other. What do you have to say about this?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Interjector. With the permission of the chairperson, I'd like to answer. Teenagers do face problems with their parents, but they do face problems with friends as well, which are much more bigger than problems faced with their parents. And I think parents will always understand you no matter what, unlike your friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitya. I now invite Emmanuel Noah to speak for the motion.
With the permission of the chair.
Quote, some people go to priests, others to poetry, I to my friends. Unquote, Virginia Woolf. Good afternoon, esteemed judges, my worthy opponents, and the House at large. I, Emmanuel Noah of Conant House, stand firmly before you to speak for the topic that teenagers should give more importance to friends than to family. While family undoubtedly plays a crucial role in our life, the significance of friendships during the teenage years should not be underestimated. I shall further elaborate my views on this topic through 4 constructive arguments. Firstly, adolescence is a period of self-discovery and identity formation. During these years, teenagers are exploring who they really are, and friends provide the support and understanding needed during these times. Friends share similar experiences, challenges, and interests,
which foster a sense of belonging that can sometimes be difficult to find within the family. Teenagers often feel misunderstood or judged by their parents or siblings, leading to feelings of isolation and judgment and isolation. But friendships offer a sense of relief because they provide a safe and supportive environment where they can be themselves without the fear of judgment. Secondly, friendships encourage independence. While family relationships can sometimes be protective, limiting, but friends often challenge each other to step out of their comfort zones. They facilitate experiences that promote personal growth, such as trying new activities, exploring different viewpoints, or even standing up for oneself. Thirdly, friendships act as a safety net. During tough times, whether it's personal issues, academic pressure, or social anxiety, friends find it easier to talk to a friend because they provide the emotional support that might not be readily available from the family. The shared understanding among peers can create a safe space for discussing feelings and fears, leading to better mutual understanding and outcomes. In a world where mental health is increasingly important, having a strong network of friends can be invaluable. Lastly, we must acknowledge that while family is important, not all family environments are healthy and supportive. For some teenagers, friends may provide the only reliable source of understanding and support. In these cases, prioritizing friendships can be a form of self-care and empowerment. In conclusion, while family is undeniably important, the unique benefits that friendships provide during the teenage years should not be underestimated. Friends offer support, foster independence, teach life skills, and provide a safe haven during difficult times. As teenagers navigate through this critical phase of life, prioritizing friendships can lead to a healthier, more balanced development that lays a strong foundation for their future. With this, I end my debate, but not my cause. Thank you.
Questions? House.
Teenagers are of their ages when they can do any wrong deed because of peer pressure or any influence caused by their friends. What do you think?
Thank you for the question, Miss Interjector. But these so-called friends are not your friends if they're forcing you to do something that you don't love. Because friends are those who have a mutual understanding with you. They will want you to do something that you love and not something that you hate under peer pressure. Thank you.
Allen House.
Cousins, which are the same age as you, are also part of your family, but they may also offer the same benefits and advice as friends. What are your opinions on this?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Interjector. But I don't think so cousins will be able to provide the same kind of emotions or same kind of advice that your friends will be able to provide, since you will still have the fear of being judged in front of your cousins or your brothers, because obviously since they are your elder brothers, they will tease you about it, they will say things about you about it, but your friends will offer advice and will be safe, and the information will be safe with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. I now invite Bhuvi Handa of Convent House to present her views against the motion.
With the permission of the chair. Quote, family is not an important thing. It is everything. Unquote, Michael J. Fox. A very good afternoon, Mr. Chairperson, and to the House at large. Today, I, Bhuvi Handa of Convent House, would like to present to you 4 constructive arguments to prove why I resolutely stand against the motion, which states that teenagers should give more importance to their friends than to family. Now, while preparing for this debate, I searched for the word family to get a clear meaning. And it stated a group of two or more people who are related by birth, adoption, marriage, and who live together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this very definition of family proves my statement that your family can always be your friends while your friends can never be your family. For my first constructive, I would like to talk about betrayal. Teenagers see their families as their best friends and their most trusted allies. Instead of some friends who are also going through the same problems and may find it difficult to be there for someone else. Trusting your friends more than your family doesn't harm you. It just gives you front row tickets to watch your own demise. Teenagers might betray each other because of disagreements or social pressures, while family ties are deeply rooted. Your family will always love you, while your friends might only like you if you fit the cool standards set by them. Moving on, family encourages healthy boundaries and self-care. If friends encourage risky behavior like underage drinking or academic distractions, family can provide guidance. The movie Mean Girls, which was released in 2004, had about 60% of its audience under the age of 18, and the dynamics portrayed in this movie reflect real-life scenarios where teenage girls may pressure each other into excluding others to maintain social status or indulging in gossip. I don't think any parent would want their child to consume content like this. Celebrities like Justin Bieber have discussed how they struggle with peer pressure and drugs, showing even those in the spotlight are not immune to these influences. Looking at the bigger picture, maturity is a very important part of our lives, which unfortunately the people of our age do not possess. While on the other hand, our family members do have. With age, they have dealt with so many situations that they have better experience and are very much more experienced to provide guidance to us. Our grandparents, parents, and older relatives provide us life lessons which are tested by time and are surely to work. My last constructive talks about how family is a constant while friendships are temporary. Now, research shows that about less than 10% of teenage friendships last into adulthood, while most of them dissolving due to life changes, different paths, and evolving interests. However, family persists through a lifetime. Let me provide you with an example. In 2017, Francia, Selena's best friend, donated her a kidney while she was battling lupus. But even after Francia donated a kidney to Selena, Selena cut ties with her, referring to Taylor Swift as her only friend in the industry. Now try putting yourself in that situation. How would you feel if even donating a kidney is not enough to make a friendship last? To conclude, while friendships are important, family serves as an irreplaceable foundation. When our family members have sacrificed so much for us, loved us, cared for us, what right do any of us have to give priority to our friends who haven't loved us or sacrificed half as much as us as our family members have? With this, I rest my debate. Thank you.
For us,
Teenagers who are orphans do not have a family to look after them. They will naturally give importance to friends. What are your thoughts?
With the permission of the chair, I would like to answer. Thank you for your question, Mr. Interjector. Orphans, as you mentioned, they also long for a family while they're living in the orphanage. And don't you think when they get adopted, they do form families? And when later on they get older and they move out of the orphanage, they get married and they form families. So at the end of the day, they do form families and they always go back to their families, which are more important than their friends. Thank you.
Allen House.
Miss Speaker, in your debate you mentioned that friends may abandon you because you don't fit their cool standards. But don't you think those aren't your actual friends and true friends may support you as much as your family?
Thank you for your question. With the permission of the chair. See, friends will always find benefits. This is human nature to be with somebody who is giving you benefits. So I don't think that there are true friends, and it is very difficult in this day and age to find those true friends that you talk about because there is so much hatred and anger in this world today. So these true friends are very hard to find, and there will always be people who are ready to drag you down and only be there to support you if you give any benefit to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. I now invite Shaurya Bansal of Foy House to present his views for the motion.
Quote, "Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Walk beside me, just be my friend. Unquote. Albert Camus. A very good afternoon to the House at large. Today I stand before you to express my views in favor of the motion. I will be proving to the House why the motion today prevails with the help of two constructive arguments. Members of the House, right at the outset, I would like to highlight the keywords of today's topic that are teenagers and more important. Yes, panel, the topic clearly states that teenagers should give more importance to friends than family. Hence, as the member of the proposition, I will be proposing the benefits of why friends are more important without neglecting the benefits of family for teenagers. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important factor that is the driving force of today's topic is psychological aspect. Studies have shown that 86% of teenagers believe that their friends provide them emotional support during tough times. 94% of teenagers believe that their friends understand them better than anyone else. Studies have shown from the UN that teenagers who have supportive friends are 40% less likely to suffer from depression. Panel, these statistics are proof enough of why we need friends more than family. Children are prone to choose their friends based on shared interests and values. Friendships are incredibly important during adolescence. Teen friendships help young people feel a sense of acceptance and belonging. They support the development of compassion, caring, and empathy. Moreover, teen friendships are an important part of forming a sense of belonging outside the family. And these adolescent friendships can be incredibly important and supportive in helping teens to weather difficult times. Now, we all know that spending time with good friends makes us happier. But scientists have put this feeling to the test, and the evidence shows that teen friendships are linked with psychological well-being. A study using data from more than 1,111 teenagers found that adolescents who were integrated into friendship networks had better mental health. The findings made it very clear that teenagers with more friendships had fewer symptoms of depression and higher levels of belonging. In addition, the benefits of friendships include higher functioning of immune system, better self-esteem, lower rates of anxiety, and feeling of trust towards others. Now, moving on to my second constructive arguments, ladies and gentlemen. Panel, friends are an integral part of adolescence. Teens spend the majority of time with their peers, from inside the classroom to after-class meetings to sports and extracurricular activities. It is also a place where through new experiences and endeavors, teens learn how to handle situations by their own and independent of their family. For most teens, learning how to handle different types of people, the personalities they mesh with, and once they don't, is also an important life lesson, ladies and gentlemen. The most beneficial thing young people gain in having relationship outside of their family is that they develop a sense of community and support. Now, I would like to end my debate with a simple yet thoughtful quote by George Herbert. The best mirror is an old friend. Think about it. Thank you.
Morning House.
Mr. Speaker, this acceptance that you talked about that the teenagers feel because of their friends, don't you think to feel this acceptance, teenagers may indulge into bad behavior just to feel accepted by their friends?
Thank you for your question. For a good question, good answer. I believe that when a friend betrays you, rejects you, pokes fun at you, or even abandons you, you learn. And you learn pretty quickly. You need to identify, you need to find the difference in what is good and what is bad. And I think that is what is the most important life lesson that you'll get from friends. And hence, teenagers at this time should give more importance to friends than family. Thank you.
Small House.
Mr. Speaker, you forget about introverted people and a large portion of children who are homeschooled and have no friends. And so how do you explain that they should pay more importance to friends that don't even exist?
Thank you so much. Again, Okay, first of all, why do you think that us children are sent here by our parents? Number one, if we are introvert, then I believe that if we are staying in Wynberg-Allen, we'll find a lot of friends for us. Why do you think I started debating first of all? I saw my seniors, I saw my batchmates, and I got motivated from them. So, different perspectives. If your parents would always see good for you, right? That's why they sent you here. Now, if they sent you here, you need to make best out of it. And how will you make best out of it? By making good friends and getting motivated from them and doing the right thing. By giving more importance to friends than family in teenage life. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaurya. I now invite Dakshayani Gupta of Foy House to present her views against the motion.
With the permission of the chair. Having somewhere to go is home. Having someone to love is family, and having both is a blessing. Family is a network of individuals who share deep emotional support, responsibilities, and mutual care, often developed over time through shared experiences and commitment. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairperson, honorable judges, and my dear friends. Today I am here to prove why teenagers in particular should prioritize family over friends. While friends are undeniably important, I contend that family provides a foundation which is essential for a teenager's growth and well-being. From your food to your mood, everything depends on your family. You have fought with your friends, had a disagreement, and thought that they had been unfair. Who do you bank on for support? Your family, right? This is the reason why family is more important. In this day and age, trolling, gaslighting, peer pressure, and whatnot, the closest you have is family. Here are 5 reasons why teenagers should give more importance to family than friends, and why family plays an important role in your teenage years. These years are the roller coaster phase, the Wi-Fi dependency stage, the experimental era. This is the Y decade, when you are stuck in the almost adult paradox. It is crucial to note that those who have been with you the longest, whether biological family or adopted family, have a deep understanding of the teen's habits, strengths, and weaknesses. This familiarity allows them to provide tailored support and guidance, recognizing patterns in the teen's behavior and emotions. Their insights enable them to anticipate your needs during trying times, making them invaluable in crises. They can offer constructive feedback and encouragement because they know what works for you and what doesn't. The deep connection fosters trust and helps them to share easily. Their long-term presence creates both a sense of stability and belonging, crucial for the roller coaster of teenagers. While friendship is important for social development, they can be short-lived and influenced by peer pressure. In contrast, family has a deeper understanding of the teen's values and long-term goals. Financial support is very important in your teenage years. While friends might help you with your studies, your family provides you with a wallet for your teenage dramas and aspirations. In the grand adventure of teenage years, remember, your friends may be the thrill, but your family is the safety harness. After all, home is where your story begins. Thank you.
Questions? Allen House?
There have also been cases of families abandoning their children. However, you can make new friends if your old friends abandon you. But don't you think that you cannot make new families?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Interjector. I think we have all heard the popular saying, different strokes for different folks. There are only some cases in which the family abandons the child. Not every single time. And if they do, you can definitely make a new family. Why not? There are a lot of people in your family, not just your parents. Thank you.
Common House.
Some children have abusive families. How do you think a child would deal with them if they didn't have friends to talk about it or, have a conversation?
Thank you for the question, Madam Interjector. I have stated in my debate that family is important and friends are also important. But of course, family is more important. Family should be the topmost priority. Friends can definitely be second most. And if the family is abusive, you will still have friends to talk to it about. I'm not saying that friends are not important, they should not be there in your life, but family is what keeps you going. Thank you.
Thank you, Dakshayani. And now invite Diva Chuk of Pal House to present her views for the motion.
With the permission of the chair. Quote, a man's friendships are one of the best measures of his worth. Unquote, Charles Darwin. A very good afternoon to Mr. Chairperson, respected adjudicators, and the House at large. The topic under fire today is that teenagers should give more importance to friends than family. And I firmly stand for the topic. I would like to further elaborate my stance by focusing on the following 4 constructive arguments. My first constructive argument focuses on our friends understand and relate with us more as teenagers. Imagine a scenario where you miss submitting your assignment on time and feel terrible about it. Who do you go to? Your friends, ladies and gentlemen, because naturally, being in the same age group, they would understand the situation better and help you deal with it accordingly. Whereas your parents or family members might not react in a way that's helpful in that particular situation. My fellow opponents here today might say that friends are unreliable and not as trustworthy. But let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that the foundation of every single relationship is trust, which we build from the ground up with our friends. And so are aware if they can be trusted or not. Now, coming to my second constructive argument. Growing up in a boarding school, we spend more time with our friends as compared to our family. Hence, it's vital for us to nurture the relationships that we have here, as from the beginning of the day to the very end, it's our friends who are with us. Which brings me to my next point. That best friends, in many cases, say what you wish your parents might have said to you. Researchers from Australia's Murdoch and Griffith Universities surveyed teens and they found that they coped better after a stressful event with peers rather than adults. The research proves that friends seem to be an emotional tonic for teenagers. Now for my fourth constructive argument. As we age, our friends become central to our well-being. According to various studies, they even become more important than family. This is because we start to use the time we spend with our friends as an escape from the problems we are facing with our family, whether it's due to a fight with a family member or facing any difficult situation. It's our friends we find solace in. Friends can encourage us, simply bring us out of a bad mood and bring our minds off worries. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying that friends are like gardeners who make our soul blossom, and it's up to us how much importance we give them. Thank you.
Common House.
When our parents and families have sacrificed so much for us, don't you think we should give them more importance as we discuss who we should give more importance to today instead of the choice between friends and family?
Thank you for the question. As teenagers, we should give more time to our friends because they give
they're always with us and we spend more time with our friends as compared to our family as teenagers. So naturally they would help us deal with situations that are difficult for us and they are always with us. Thank you.
Foremost.
Friendships in school are still growing relationships which need attention and love, whereas familial relationships are already established and just need to be further developed. What do you think?
Thank you for the question. Friends are basically chosen family and we get to choose the bond that we have with them. Hence we communicate more with our friends and we have a closer bond with them than family at this age. Thank you.
Thank you, Diva. I now invite Pratham Rao of Pal House to present his views against the motion.
A very warm good afternoon to the August Forum. Today I, Pratham Rao, stand before you debating the negative of today's debate. Right at the outset, I would like to present the most important and valuable stakeholder of my debate, which is you. Yes, you and you. In fact, every teenager here is the person most affected by the decision of whether paying more importance to their friends or family. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to quote from Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, where Brutus says, and I quote, that every like is not the same, O Caesar, unquote, which means that a person who is like a friend and a person who is a friend are totally two different things. Ladies and gentlemen, as thus we are met with countless number of fake friends who are just looking for a prey to fulfill their needs and requirements. We as individuals with no experience of life are not able to tell apart the difference between these so-called friends, and therefore this is one of the scenarios in which our family comes for the rescue. Fake friends are like parasites. They suck your love and feelings from them and make you hollow from the inside. So they are extremely double-faced, and so it is best to divert our attention from these busybodies and pay more importance to our family who will actually be there with us in times of need. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's sinful world, we have a responsibility not to anybody else but to our own selves. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty to follow the right path, and the only people who will ever guide us through the walk of life are our family members. Friends do not have the experience nor the wisdom to actually be more valuable than our family members. Friends might not always have your own best interest at mind. They might take some action which will be consequential not only for you but also for them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore advisable for teenagers to build healthy, open and trustful relationships with their family members, which will help them in the long run. Now I would like to quote Jeff Moore, an American educator, motivational speaker and author. Quote, peer pressure is pressure you put on yourself to fit in. Unquote. Panel, peer pressure is one aspect of life which gets amplified during adolescence. It is not a healthy feature of friendship and leads to a loss of original personality. Hereby paying more attention to your family members, you reduce this stress which friendship poses. Peer pressure makes you put on a facade which is actually very similar to the nature of your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, and studies also show that 75% of adolescents engage in risky behaviors due to peer pressure. And so, to conclude, I would like to say that now this debate is not just limited to the fact of whether paying more importance and attention to your family or friends. It should have become a personal matter for everybody present here, that whether do they owe their family more, which provides them with everything, from the toothbrush they use in the morning to the very life they have right now, and the education through which they have been able to make such friends, or do they owe their friends more, who might be pillars of unwavering support in this life, but they can only and only, ladies and gentlemen, be an interim family which do not deserve your utmost importance and attention. Thank you. Signing off, Pratham Rao.
Dear speaker, you took Julius Caesar's example, right? So, don't you think Antony was the one who took his friend's revenge at the end? What do you think about that?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of the chairperson, I'd like to answer your question. Mr. Speaker, Mark Antony might have taken revenge for Julius Caesar, but it doesn't really show us that how valuable our family can be for us. If Julius Caesar only had his wife, Calpurnia, not anybody else in his family, and definitely the Julius Caesar we learn in the school is very limited. And actually, family members can be way more valuable. Calpurnia was I could say, a weak woman, as described in the play, but Mark Antony was a strong man. That is why he could take revenge for his friend. But it is not always like this. As mentioned in a study in the USA, 28.3 out of 40 friends are fake friends. And so it is therefore advisable for teenagers to build healthy and open and trustful relationships with their family members. Thank you. I hope I have answered your question.
Mr. Speaker, don't you think that teenagers often feel better to talk to their friends than family because of the fear of judgment? Doesn't this almost give most of the importance of the teenagers to their friends?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Interjector. With the permission of the chairperson, I'd like to answer your question. Mr. Interjector, I am so happy that you have asked this question because I have already said in my debate, and I quote, "It is therefore advisable for teenagers as the same age as you, me, and the audience to build open, healthy, and trustful relationships with their family members. And in these open and trustful relationships, you can talk to your family members about anything, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot hide anything then if you build such relationships. So it is on you to actually become as valuable to your family members as they will be to you if you build these open, trustful, and healthy relationships." Thank you.
Thank you, Pratham.